Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a little bit of a different video, but still incorporate some luxury eye candy and kind of just give my thoughts on some of the popular Louis Vuitton fragrances that are available from the boutique and online. So as you can see, I have a really small collection. I have some samples as well as three. They're not the full size. I think the full size is 200 mLs. These are just the 100 ml bottles. But yeah, I just want to give my thoughts on it as well as kind of describe how I think they smell and how I like it and their the lasting power and everything. So the three fragrances I have are the first one I actually bought was this one. It was I don't take French and I probably will butcher these names, but it's the Attrape Rêves. And it comes in this beautiful white box. So all the colognes and fragrances all come in this really pretty Louis Vuitton box that says Louis Vuitton, and it's in raised kind of text with the name on top. And this one is, that's what that box looks like, sorry. So it's 100 mLs and it's an eau de parfum, so it's an oil-based perfume. Different than, like, let's just say, for example, Jo Malone, that's an eau de toilette, so that's more water-based. So these are all oil-based, so that's what gives it its long-lasting power. The second one I purchased was this one, which is Apogee. And this is also 100 cc's, or 100 mLs, sorry. And the third one I bought recently, and I did an unboxing of this, is the Eau d'Absence, and that's also 100 mLs as well. So like I said, they all come in these beautiful white boxes. You open it like this. It opens on the side, and it comes in this like container. So, get this container out if I can. So that's what it looks like. And so usually the perfume would be nestled right in here. So it'd be like this. So it's pretty weighty, pretty heavy. It'd be like that. So if you actually wanted to get it engraved, like this one, I got it engraved with my initials, because it was the very first one I bought, and I love this one. It usually comes already, they take it out of the plastic wrapping and they engrave it and they put it back, and then they repackage it for you and everything. So it's all nicely packaged. And I keep these mostly for travel, because I know that Louis Vuitton actually has traveling cases for their perfumes, but they're kind of expensive. So if I were to ever travel with this, obviously I wouldn't put it in my carry-on. I'd put it in my like check-in luggage, and I'd probably bring this container with me and put it in a bag and put this in there. So anyways, so those are the three I have, and I have some samples here. So the samples I get, and the thing about getting samples is sometimes they'll send you samples, like if you were to buy perfumes online. Other times you have to ask the SA in the boutique for samples, because they won't automatically give you samples. From my experience, I've actually had to ask the sales associate, hey, can I have samples of, you know, X, Y, and Z? So one sample I have is Dance Le Peau, and the samples are all 2 mLs or 0.06 fluid ounces. So they're really small, and they come in a little spray bottle like this, and I believe it's glass too, so I think it's glass or really hard plastic. This for sure is glass. So, and then this one is another favorite amongst people, or another popular one is Rose de Vence, or de Vence. This Le Jour se lève, and a smaller size of the Eau d'Absence, and also Matin Noir. So that's kind of basically my little mini collection. I'm just going to move this aside so you guys can see everything. But yeah, I usually save these for travel, or if I need a perfume for a special occasion, I put those in my clutch bag or something. So yeah, I'm first going to talk about this one, since it was the very first one I purchased. And as you can see, the bottle's a really thick, nice glass bottle, like really weighty, very heavy. All the perfumes now cost $255 because they did get a price increase with all the other price increases this past March. Before that, it was $250, and these are actually refillable. So if you were to finish it up, and my sales associate actually told me like to finish it up as much as possible, because if you had like a little, like this much left, let's say, they dump it out. So you could actually refill this. So you take it off. It's a magnetic top. See, it's magnetic. It has Louis Vuitton on there. It's black. It has this very apothecary kind of look to it. Very pretty. When it's on the shelf, it looks really pretty. This one's this one. Also the same. They're all the same construction. Very clear, like chemistry beaker-like look to it. Like very, I don't know. I like it because it looks like those old-timey glass bottles. But anyways, so the first one I'm going to talk about is the Attrape Rêves, which loosely translates to dream catcher. And that one is the strongest fragrance I have besides this one. So in terms of intensity for me, and like I said, this is all my personal preference. I think that in terms of intensity, this is the most intense. This is like the least intense or the lightest. So for Attrape Rêves, and like I said, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing this right. I did not take French in school. I took Spanish. So it's on the website. It has the beautiful campaign with Emma Stone on it. And it features, so the notes that it features really is cocoa, peony accord, lychee accord, patchouli heart, Turkish rose, absolute, ginger, and bergamot. And it's actually a very strong, I'm gonna smell it. Strong, very sensual smell to it. You can really smell of a peony and like for me, the bergamot, the ginger. And then you have that rose kind of undertone when it like kind of fades, I guess. So initially when I sprayed, it's very like in your face, very strong, but then as it wears off, or not wears off, but as it dries very nicely, at least on my skin tone and skin type. Not skin tone, skin type. My skin is, for the most part, normal, but it can get oily, so it mixes with my oil body chemistry better over time than initially. And that's true also for, sorry, just hit the camera. For Apogee, that one is a very strong, very intense, like, smell. Like, as soon as it's almost peppery. That peppery is basically how I would describe it. It's very peppery, it's very strong, very spicy, and then it fades into this like light floral scent. So for me, my perfume tastes are very floral, kind of fruity, but not too overpowering, just because I do have sensitivity to smells, and I think that some smells can give me a headache over time. So yeah, so I have to say my least favorite is probably this one, which is weird because when you test it in the store, they spray it on a card and it smells great on a card, right? But then when you test it on your skin, it smells differently. And I don't know if I was wearing perfume that day or body lotion, but I thought it smelled great. But as soon as I sprayed it at home, it smelled a little bit weird. So for Apogee, it loosely translates to climax or peak, and it's made out of, or the tones or the smells are lily of the valley accord, jasmine, magnolia, guaiac wood, and sandalwood. So you get that, initially for me, that sandalwood is very strong and intense, and I think that's what gives that peppery kind of smell. But after a while, it goes away. My experience with this one, though, however, has been pretty bad. I don't know what I did, but I remember I was testing it out one day. I had clean, I had just showered and everything, and I put it on, and I don't know what happened where I put it on. I slept, I guess, with it on. The next day, I noticed a lot of red spots on my skin, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Initially, I didn't think it was the perfume. I thought it was something else, because maybe it was a lotion or whatever, so I didn't think anything of it. So I kind of let it just stay on my skin. I washed it off towards the end of the day. And then the next day when I sprayed it on my skin again, I noticed that the red spots in the form of the spray marks appeared again on my skin. So I was like, oh, great. I wonder what happened. So I think I had an allergic reaction to this one. I even asked my SA, it's like, if I have an allergic reaction to it, like, can I exchange it for something, or can I get a refund or store credit or something? She never got back to me, which kind of irritated me, but I'm pretty sure it happens. So, like, what do you do? Like, I don't want to keep a $255 fragrance if I can't wear it, you know? But they never got back to me, and I kind of just stopped wearing it for a while. And then I think a couple weeks ago I tried it again, and I tested it out again, and I didn't have any reaction to it. So I don't know if it was a culmination of different fragrances or lotions or whatever, or my skin was just not used to it. I don't have a reaction anymore. It still smells great, but I know now to not spray it directly on my skin, at least this one, not to spray it directly on my skin. I'll spray it over my clothes, or kind of spray it in the air and like walk through it. So that was the only one that I've had a reaction to. The other two, I haven't had a reaction. And so, in this, like I said, this is the second strongest smelling one. Not my favorite, but not something I totally wouldn't wear. Occasionally I'll wear it if I feel like wearing a Louis Vuitton perfume. Would I ever get a refill of this? Probably not, which is kind of sad, but I use it sparingly. And then the last one is actually Louis Vuitton's newest fragrance. It is the Heure d'Absence, which translates to hours of absence. Literally translates to hours of absence. So it kind of just exudes that escapism kind of feeling. Like for this one, the Dreamcatcher or Attrape Rêves, like I do feel like I'm in a dream. It's very like flirty and sensual, very I feel very pretty when I wear it, if that makes any sense. This one I feel like I'm hiking in the forest, and this one I feel like I'm at the ocean side just chilling on the beach. That's how that's what I feel like when I spray these perfumes. So the newest one has notes of mimosa, jasmine, rose, balsam of Peru, sandalwood, and musk notes. And so I do smell the musk notes in some sandalwood, but for a perfume, especially an eau de parfum, it's very light. It's actually a lot lighter than I thought. At first I didn't like it, because I actually used the sample that I got first for a couple of days, and I was like, I don't really like this one. And then it kind of grew on me, because I really liked not only the color, because it's a beautiful purple color, that purple lavender color. Excuse my nails too, I'm sorry. I don't know, I don't really do my nails anymore. And if you've seen my how to save for luxury video, you'll know why. But yeah, it's purple-y color, sorry. I'll put it next to the white. This one's a yellow, and then this one's like a bright orangey pink. So this one's the lightest one, very light floral scent, and I really do like that one. Never had a bad experience with this one. The only bad experience I had though was when I actually bought it directly from the boutique and I opened it. So when I opened it, the cap fell off. So let's see. Oh, I'll get the box. So when I unboxed it, and I'll link the unboxing video. It was part of the triple Louis Vuitton unboxing that I had. Seriously, these boxes, although pretty, it's really hard to get the containers out of them. So this is the box it came in. Ooh, squeaky. Sorry. I hope on camera that doesn't get too squeaky. So basically, like, I opened it like this, and then the cap fell off. And the thing is, this whole rim part fell off, was actually off. I was like, what the heck? And it was actually exposed. It wasn't leaking or anything. It was just this lid part, this black lip part was exposed. And I was like, what the heck? And I noticed that the spray was crooked. And so I was going to text my SA and be like, what the heck is this? But I figured out that I learned to push this in. And I was kind of scared because I thought I was going to break it. But I didn't. So I did a pretty okay job. So if you can see, so there's that black plastic part. And then where the glass and the plastic meet, this part was like open. And so I just pushed it in as hard as I could. Without breaking it. And I had to be careful too because I didn't want to break it because I don't know how Louis Vuitton would react to it, just because, no offense, like I said before, my Louis Vuitton boutique, as nice as they are sometimes, they're kind of not the friendliest or accommodating. I know some people have said that before in regards to Louis Vuitton, but especially at my boutique, or at least the flagship store closest to where I live, they're not the nicest. They kind of like give you the stink eye, or they give you the whole like, oh, if you're returning it, why are you returning it? You know, it's kind of like, oh, I'm not getting commission because I have to help you return. It's like, yo, these are expensive. If you're gonna help me, help me. If you're not gonna help me, I'll just leave. I'll just figure something out, you know? So yeah, so that's basically my quick review. I know it's not too, like, I mean, it's the most in-depth that I can get without actually spraying it, because as much as I would like smell-o-vision, you guys can't really smell it unless you go to the boutique or ask for a sample. And like I said, you can always ask. Sometimes they say yes, sometimes they'll say no. I mean, there's no harm in asking. I asked and I got 2 of these. I even got a cologne sample for a friend of mine too. And yeah, like I said, the samples are pretty substantial. You can actually use a lot of this too. So 2 mils is a lot for what it is. But yeah, that is my mini Louis Vuitton fragrance collection. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. You can ask me anything about it, ask me my experience. So far, the experiences I just described are what I've had with this. This one never had an issue. This one I had an allergic reaction. This one, just the product, when I unboxed it, was defective. But it's not defective anymore, so it works. And will I ever get refills? Maybe on these 2. Definitely probably not on this one. And will I buy any more Louis Vuitton perfumes? Because they are $255 and they're not cheap. But they do last a long time. I've had this one since, I want to say, October. And I've like barely made, this is kind of hard to see, but I barely made like, I've only used this much of it. And when you first get it, it's all the way to the top, like where the black spray bottle top part starts. So it's all the way to the top, or mostly all the way to the top, like right here where this groove is. If you guys can see that little groove right there. So I've used a significant amount of each of them. Even this one, I've used some of it too. And I like all three. And I would definitely recommend this one and this one. This one, I think this one's like kind of dependent and very subjective. If I could, I'd own all of the fragrance. Well, not all of them, but mostly all of them. Surprisingly, this is my least favorite one because it's just too peppery and I don't know why people like it. I guess it smells like rose for like the first 2 seconds. But for me, it doesn't smell like anything after that. But this is my favorite. And will I get another one? I think the next one I would probably be that fragrance that came out before this one. Cœur battant, which loosely translates to beating heart in French, or in English, from French to English. And that one, I would probably get that one next, but I've smelled that and this together, and they smell very similar, so I don't know if I'd want to get that one just because it smells so similar to that one. And as much as I like this one, I don't know if I'm gonna spend that kind of money on a very similar smelling perfume, you know. But yeah, those are my 2 cents on my Louis Vuitton perfume collection. As far as these samples, sorry, I've only sprayed this one. I've actually sprayed all of them. My least favorite is this. Most favorite is, I think I like this one the most. I wanted to get this one next also, but I've heard it's sold out and it might be a discontinued one because online it's been sold out for a while, and then at my boutiques, either the Neiman Marcus ones or Saks or even the flagship, they don't have those ones. So I don't know if it's going to be discontinued or not, but yeah, if I do get another one, I will definitely do an unboxing for you guys. But anyways, thank you again for watching. I hope everyone's staying safe and everyone's staying healthy. And if you like videos like these, I would love it if you could subscribe, like, and comment, and let me know what you think. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later in the next video. Bye.